Coach Woodman Show is brought to you by Little General. The Coach Woodman Show will be on timeswv.com each Wednesday before Fairmont State football games.
The win last week, you said you wanted to start fast against Wise. I mean, you up 14-0 there. What was working for you guys early on in that? I mean, the run game seemed to really be clicking for you guys there.
Yeah, we knew the weather was going to set in, and we knew it was going to start raining a good bit, so we were trying to get the ball in the air as much as we could early, and our guys came out and executed well. Coop played pretty good early on, and we were able to get kind of put our foot on the gas pedal a little bit there early in the first quarter. The problem was we couldn't stop them. They were doing the same thing back to us, but we kept responding offensively. Our defense kept playing. I thought that was a good sign in the second half. They started playing better, and then we struggled offensively. So hopefully one of these days we can put 4 quarters together on both sides and see what happens.
Sure. You talked about Cooper's play. I mean, obviously he threw his first interception this year. Is it kind of good for him to go ahead and just get that out of the way? I mean, do you think it weighs on him at all as far as interceptions go, or is that not the type of guy he is?
We kind of, it was one of those things we didn't really bring up and didn't talk about. So I think we all kind of knew, but we hadn't quite got further along and far enough into the year to really be that important. You're talking week 9, week 10, and it may be something that's more on his mind, but it's still middle of the season. He hates throwing interceptions anytime, and we talk about it all the time. So whether it had been now or the first game, or I think any interception bothers him just as much as it bothers me. So.
Defensively for you guys, going up against a guy like Terrence Younger for them, I mean, how beneficial was that going into a strong part of the season where you guys got another couple different top wide receivers coming up in the next couple of weeks?
Well, he's the premier wideout in the conference, or one of them. He's very, very good. I think every week every team we play has good wideouts. So he's not head and shoulders above the other guys that we're going to play or have seen already. But our guys competed with him and kind of got him out of the game there in the second quarter, and he never came back in. So we were physical with him and played tough, and our guys just were a little bit tougher than them that day. But heading down the road, we're gonna have the same challenge every week. The next 3 teams we play all have very, very good receivers. So it may have done it a little bit to give us a little bit of experience. We can't rep that kind of speed and talent in practice. So to see it in the game, hopefully it opens some eyes to our DBs, and we'll be a little bit more prepared. But every week they're going to have good receivers.
You guys get a full week to prepare for Notre Dame College this weekend. With the rain coming this week, what have you guys done differently to prepare for them? I mean, how does the rain does it change anything for you guys as far as getting on the field?
It hasn't yet. We try to have the same approach, and we don't mind if it's raining, snowing, or 80 degrees. We go out there try to have the same mental approach. And it is tough to get certain things done in practice when it's pouring the rain down, but our game plans are going to be the same. We may call things different once we get in situations, but through the week we're going to go up there and prepare the same as we would any other time, and the other team has to play in it too. So there's going to be elements that affect both of us. But with the quarterback and the running back and the receiver they have, they're probably in a pretty good position no matter what the situation is. Those 3 guys account for a lot of their offense, so we've got to be ready for it no matter what.
For their offense, I mean, you said that the running back, quarterback, receiver make them click. What's so good about them, you think, that kind of makes them go?
I think it's that they run their offense well. I think the things they do in it, they're very good at doing that, and they're athletic. They have 4 or 5 guys on that offense that can score anytime they touch it. So they make you play sound and be ready for every angle. It's a little bit like the triple option, the old school triple option, where you got to have your jobs and your assignments and do it every play. It's a little bit of that kind of stuff, where if you give them a chance, one guy can take it to the house. And fortunately, we have seen similar offenses recently with the zone read and all that stuff that comes along with all that package. But again, we can't emulate the quarterback and the running back and the receiver that they have in practice. We just it's tough. So it's going to be a challenge whenever we get up there and see what they have.
Sure. And then what have you seen out of Notre Dame as far as defensive side of the ball? And what do you think your guys can do well against the Falcons there?
I think they're very underrated. I think that they're very talented on defense. I think that injuries have plagued them for most of the year. But again, they're base in their scheme and they're sound in what they do, and you got to be ready for pressures from every angle. They're very good at mixing up some pressures, and I think that it's going to be a bigger challenge than people believe it is. When you look at their record, they're way better than what the record says. They've started playing extremely well late. They have 2 big wins back-to-back against Concord and West Lib, so we're going to have to go up there and be ready to play again on the road, probably in a cold, windy, wet environment, and it's going to be a big challenge on both sides, but defensively they get better every week, and they have the players to comply.
Sure. Key to the game for a win on Saturday, you think?
Yeah, we got to take care of the football. We have to go up there with the mindset that no matter what the elements are or whatever situation, we have to be ready to play, and we have to go out and execute. I continue to tell our team that if we execute and do our job, we're tough to beat. We can play with anybody, but getting us to do that every day, getting us to be ready to do it on Saturdays is a challenge.
The Coach Woodman Show is brought to you by Little General. The Coach Woodman Show will be on timeswv.com each Wednesday before Fairmont State football games.